Hi everyone, here's my information about my bristlebots from Module 3. Started off with the asking step of the engineering design process by kind of determining what I needed to do with both the original bot and when creating a modified version of the bristlebot. My imagine step took me to doing some research about both, what is a bristlebot, what parts create the bristlebot, and then understanding the science behind the circuit was really important for me to understand in trying to create a modified version. I planned out the original design, which was really just following the directions and steps that we had been sent, but there were some important considerations I listed over here that also played a role then in me doing my modified version. So after creating my bristlebot, following those steps, I definitely had a well-functioning bristlebot. I think it lost an eye in the testing process, but overall went really well. When I got to the improving stage, let's just say I went through a couple different ideas before I kind of got to what I liked. I had tested out with like a larger battery and the same motor, and the motor just couldn't really keep up with the size of the battery, and I didn't have another motor to use, so I kind of was stuck with still using the same motor and battery, but just redesigning what the bot in general looked like. So I was trying to determine, is there another material that makes the bot move more easily around rather than using the toothbrush bristles? Could I make it something more purposeful? And that's why you'll see I had a dog treat. I wanted it to be something that could hold a dog treat that my dog could eat her treat out of. And then also understanding about the pipe cleaners. Do I really need something that helps to stabilize the bot depending on how I make it? So here was the ending result that I came up with after going through a couple different ideas. I had went with the Q-tips because that seemed to work the best. Hot glued those onto a bottom of a Gatorade cap, which inside had my battery and motor. And then I stuck a larger cap on the top because that was the easiest for my dog to be able to get her treat out of. So you'll see that it definitely moves slower than the original bot, but that actually was kind of what I was going for because I needed my dog to be able to eat her treat out of it easily without it moving around so fast. So the original STEM activity definitely did not have as many of these qualifications met. And I really felt like it was more of like a science activity, just kind of understanding how the motor and the battery work together to create the circuit, and then designing the model was certainly engineering, but just didn't meet many of these qualifications as it was more so just following the directions that were given to us. But when thinking about how to modify the activity, you can see here I added in blue on top of the green activities. Definitely more qualifications were being met by asking those science questions, improving the design, understanding how the model can be created to fix the errors that I had come across during the original process of making the bristlebot. Also understanding more about the technology aspect. How does the motor and battery work together? How can that be used, in science and engineering? And then certainly more math aspects as well, just by problem solving and using the materials precisely. And so I definitely think that the ending result of this STEM activity was more beneficial, by doing more of the problem solving and creating with the materials rather than just being given the steps and materials to use.